Hey guys, Malo Alele. I also grew up in a Christian home from a young age, but I wouldn't say that really impacted my childhood too much. I was always a very curious kid, so I think I built up a stronger kind of foundation from a younger age. But instead, if I had to summarize my childhood, I would more say I was the happy kid. I was passionate about everything. My teachers always all said I have a zest for life. Everything I did had a bit of a snap to it, you know? I was excited about everything, and even up to a recent point, you know? I was just great at appreciating things and seeing the beauty in life, and I would just often get overwhelmed, especially by creation. I love nature. I would remember at school, I'd lay out on the grass and I'd just look up at the clouds and just notice how they swirl, and it's like, wow. Look at a sunset, you know, and it's like, look at all the colors, the pinks, the oranges, and it's like, dude, God is so, so great. He's so amazing, and I'd just be like, people's smiles and just interactions with strangers, be like, yeah, life, just, so good. And, you know, you go through your natural highs and lows, doubt here and there, go through tough times, but I feel recently, earlier this year, I came to a point where, slowly but surely, all the good things in my life kind of went away, you know? Everyone I loved, everything I loved, life just began to knock me down over and over again. And with every hit, I got weaker and weaker and weaker. And, you know, I tried to fight back against life, against what was the devil trying to push me down. But every kind word I'd say to someone, every nice thing I'd do was shot down or not reciprocated, or just things would just go wrong, and things would, you know, feel insurmountable. Like every tiny little wave of sadness just felt huge, you know? And yeah, I came to a point where the frustration and the pain and the anger wasn't something I could hold in anymore and just deal with normally anymore. So I would look for escapes. I would punch my walls, sometimes until my knuckles bled. I would scream into my pillow. I would listen to super heavy music. I would run really hard, try get it out in the gym, but nothing worked, you know. I would pray about it, but not enough, and I started thinking about other ways to escape this pain, you know. And I got to the point where I started to fantasize about death, and at first it was just thinking, you know, that if something happened, like I walked out on the street and a bus hit me, or one day I went to sleep and I didn't wake back up again, I wouldn't be that upset. And I would sit and think about it a lot and just imagine the relief and all that. And but the pain kept going, and I didn't find escape in those thoughts. So eventually I was getting ready to make a plan on how to take my own life. And I remember one day I had this splitting headache, and I went to take some Panadols to get some relief, and I looked at how many Panadols were in the box, and I was like, gosh, I could pretty easily, it could be over right now, you know, which is a very scary thought. Yeah, and later that night I remember I was thinking about it again, you know, just kept coming, and I let my mind wander about it, and it didn't go where it usually went, which was, you know, to the relief of it, and it instead went to all the responsibility I have, you know. I have a mission trip in 6 weeks. I have a family that loves me. I have friends that love me, people that depend on me, people that look up to me, people that need me. I have people to reach, I have things to do, you know. And just that thought was a turning point, because now it's like, I have hope. I have somewhere to go from here. I have a reason to live. And I didn't walk out of that cave immediately. It was a very slow, long process. But I found Jesus' hand again, and he walked me out, which you know, leads me to my point. God is greater than everything. He overcomes all things. His love can light up any darkness. And knowing the huge amount of darkness that I have, that a lot of people have, God can light it up, you know? Just his power and everything is just so overwhelming now, looking back on it. That he could save my life and save other people's lives, and even in the Bible and today, bring people back from the dead. And that's what I feel like happened, you know? It's brought back from the dead. And a verse that really stood out to me that I felt summarized my experience was Psalm chapter 23, verse 4. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Thy rod and thy staff comfort me. And just knowing that it's like, death will tap me on the shoulder again, and will tap maybe you on the shoulder again, or for the first time. And maybe you can be scared, you can worry, you will get burnt by the fire, but with God by your side, you can walk out of all things. You can walk through all things. And just praise God.